Hello, my name's Russell. I'm doing my presentation on a recent exchange that was announced between Jamaica and Venezuela. It has to do with Jamaica repaying for oil that they purchased. To start, I'll give a little bit of background on the situation. Jamaica is going to send Venezuela $4 million worth of food, medication, and fertilizers to help pay off oil debt that it has to the country. In Venezuela, they currently have a shortage of food and medicine, and it's gotten so bad that angry crowds have been in the street demanding food, and recently, over 100,000 Venezuelans went into Colombia just last month to buy supplies. The exchange is taking place because of an agreement called Petro-Carib that is between Venezuela and 12 states in the Caribbean, where the states agree to buy oil from Venezuela in exchange for preferential payment, where they only have to pay 50% up front, and then they have 25 years to repay the other 50%. Jamaica itself doesn't have a big pharmaceutical industry, so they will probably have to trade for medication from another nation and then flip those products over to Venezuela. This could just be the first deal like this for Venezuela because of the falling oil prices and the country's dependence on oil revenue to pay for importing basic goods. This exchange that is going to take place lines up with the ideas of liberalism when it comes to international trade. The Petro-Carib Agreement fits into economic liberalism because it allows the countries involved to mutually benefit from economic exchange. Economic liberalism also emphasizes shared interest in economic exchanges, which is happening here because Jamaica is getting the oil they need and Venezuela will be getting the food and medicine that they need. Liberalism also believes in markets, which can be applied here. Because the oil market prices have fallen, Venezuela had to come up with another way to import the goods that it needs. This exchange also highlights the comparative advantages that Venezuela and Jamaica have. Venezuela is able to create their wealth because of their specialization in oil that the Caribbean countries in the deal don't have. Jamaica has a comparative advantage because they have more food than Venezuela, so they're able to use that to pay off their trade debt. One of the things discussed in this module was how organizations help affect international trade. One such organization was the World Trade Organization. Both Venezuela and Jamaica belong to the World Trade Organization, which helps to benefit both of them by making trading with other countries easier. Since Jamaica is a part of the World Trade Organization, they will have an easier time of trading with another country to secure the medicine that they need to ship to Venezuela than if they weren't a part of the organization. To better understand why this exchange is needed, it's important to look at why oil prices are falling, which has affected many things around the world. The first thing we'll look at is cartels, one of them being the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Cartels usually are able to price fix by being the only ones that have the products. Venezuela is a part of OPEC, who for a long time were producing the majority of oil used in the world. Because of this, they were able to work together to make sure that oil prices remained high. In the last several years, however, the United States' production of oil has nearly doubled. This has made it so that OPEC countries that were importing to the United States have to find somewhere else to sell some of their oil. These countries are competing for Asian markets now and making it so that the producers have to drop their prices. Vehicles are also becoming more energy efficient, which is another reason that prices are falling because the demand isn't as high now because many cars are getting better miles per gallon. Another thing that was talked about in this module was the enforcement of trade rules, which we can apply to this exchange. Reciprocity is one force that is taking place here, which is the practice of exchanging things for mutual benefit. In this case, Venezuela exchanged their oil for Jamaica's money and gave them a privilege by deferring half of the payment for up to 25 years. Now instead of money, both countries are benefiting by Jamaica sending food to Venezuela to help pay off the money that they owe for oil. Retaliation is another way to enforce trade rules. In this case, retaliation won't be necessary because Jamaica is helping out Venezuela. Venezuela also wouldn't be able to retaliate if their request was denied because they can't raise the price of oil because there are other countries that would still sell it at a cheaper price. Here are some of the sources I used to gather information about this subject. The first two links talk about the deal between Jamaica and Venezuela, if you want to read more about it. The third link talks about why oil prices are falling. And that is all. Thank you for your time.